Hi everyone, I hope you all are doing well. Since it's afternoon here, if you are watching this video at afternoon time, so good afternoon to you as well. Otherwise, good morning, good evening, whatever time you are watching this video. Today's topic is about theories of language learning. In the previous videos, we talked about grammar translation method, direct method, audiolingual method, natural approach, and communicative method. So you can find those videos link in the description. Watch those videos as well because those videos are also related with the theories of language learning. And in this video we will talk about eclectic approach. What does eclectic approach mean in theories of language learning? Teaching English as a second language has its own challenges, since different learners have different backgrounds and expectations in learning English. Teachers need a flexible way of teaching. Focusing on one method will only work on one subject of the students while missing the other subset completely. The solution to this problem is the eclectic approach. Now, what does eclectic approach mean? Eclectic approach is a method of language education that combines various approaches and methodologies to teach language depending on the aims of the lesson and the abilities of the learners. Different teaching methods are borrowed and adapted to suit the requirement of the learners. It breaks the monotony of the class. And there are various approaches and methods used for language teaching. In eclectic approach, the teacher can choose from these different methods and approaches. And one thing I'm going to tell you that these methods, these approaches we have already discussed in the previous videos. As I said before that I have complete videos on these all methods. I have already made complete videos on these all methods. So you can watch those videos as well, like grammar translation method. It is a method of teaching language by which students learn grammatical rules and then apply those rules by translating between the target language and the native language. DM means like direct method. In this method, the teacher refrains from using the student's native language. The target language is directly used for teaching all the four skills. Now, what are those four skills? Listening, speaking, reading, and writing. The third is structural situational approach. In this approach, the teacher teaches language through a careful selection, graduation, and presentation of vocabulary items and structures through situation-based activities. The fourth method, that is audiolingual method. In this style of teaching, students are taught throughout a system of reinforcement. Here new words and grammar are directly taught without using the student's native language. However, unlike direct method, audiolingual method does not focus on vocabulary. Instead, the teacher focuses on grammar through drill and practice. The fifth is that is bilingual method. The word bilingual means the ability to speak two languages fluently. In bilingual method, the teacher teaches the language by giving mother tongue equivalents of the words or sentences. This method was developed by C.J. Dodson. And the sixth method, that is communicative language teaching. This approach lays emphasis on oral method of teaching. It aims to develop communicative competence in students. And the seventh method, that is total physical response. It is based on the theory that memory is enhanced through association with physical response. And the last, that is the silent way. In this method, the teacher uses a combination of silence and gestures to focus students' attention, and it was developed by Caleb Catrigano. Well, the eclectic approach is a term given to teachers' preference to apply an arsenal of teaching methods and approaches instead of just focusing on one method. So in this eclectic approach, we talk about all the methods, all the approaches which we have studied in the previous videos. Eclecticism in teaching is not a new concept by a long shot. It has been advocated since the early 90s to overcome the limitation of individual teaching method. Now, how do you apply the eclectic approach in the classroom? So, let's have a look at the grammar translation method. This method teaches a foreign language through translating, contrasting, and comparing the foreign language to the native tongue. Now, let's have a look at its strengths and weaknesses. The first is like strengths. So, students can understand the meaning of words, phrases, sentences, and grammar easily and quickly through a consistent translation of sentences. And teachers need to be fluent in English. Teachers can teach grammar and sentence structure by following strict grammar rules. This means less stress for the teacher during lesson preparation. The teacher has more flexibility. No aspect of language skill is ignored, and there is variety in the classroom. Class atmosphere is dynamic. These type of programs not only negotiate teacher skill development within an improved recognition of the respect for cross-cultural and multilingualistic classroom settings, but also encourage students pride in their heritage, language, communication preferences, and self-identity. One method can support the weaknesses of the other, and multi-intelligences in the classroom are better developed. Assistance to the teacher to the different students' learning styles. And if we talk about its weaknesses, now we are talking about grammar translation method. Like I said, in eclectic approach, we talk about all the methods, all the approaches which we have studied in theories of language learning. So weaknesses, it's hard for students to produce complete sentence by simply learning an isolated and independent collection of words. The teacher may be motivated to stick to the grammar rules throughout, making the class boring without any variation. Speaking English is not encouraged, so students may not be able to produce English sentences verbally. Very little learner participation is required. To overcome the weaknesses of the GTM means grammar translation method, teachers can employ the direct method, which is also known as the natural method, along with GTM. The idea of the direct method is to use English orally by repetitive drilling. Meaning is communicated by associating speech with objects, meme, gesture, and actions. For the direct method, teachers can also use a variety of helping tools such as drawings and flashcards. Using different learning media is also part of the eclectic approach. The media acts as an additional anchor that links the English language to the mother tongue. Using different learning media can also overcome the boredom problem associated with the grammar translation method. Additionally, for written tasks, teachers can ask students to actively proofread their own work before submitting them. And I love the use of tools such as the online spelling checker from onlinespellcheck.com to help them find mistakes and remind the students to their best in weeding out any spelling or grammar mistakes before using the tool. After checking their work using the spelling checker, students should make a note on mistakes they miss so they can avoid those same mistakes in the future. So this was all about eclectic approach. I hope this video has been helpful for you. If you have really liked this video, I suggest you to like, share, comment, and do subscribe to the channel. See you in the next video. Take care of yourself. Allah Hafiz.